What up, everybody? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah! I hope you're ready, because we're going to take a trip, a ride down the dark side. Star Wars Darth Vader, Issue 2. And can you feel the Force? You should. This unstoppable killing machine is back. Human and man mixed together. Now he's on a mission. Basically, what's going on is these ships have been raiding the Empire, taking whatever weapons they can, whatever systems they can, and using them against the Empire, or selling them off to different gangsters in the Outer Rim, including different members of the Hutts. But they didn't anticipate Darth Vader. They didn't anticipate the Dark Lord of the Sith. As he begins to attack, they fired a beam at him, yet he survived. Vader, using his shield and the dark side of the Force. Where his TIE fighter is modified, it does have some shielding, and he does have his own powers. He sees that they have robotic systems, automatic systems, expensive systems as he takes out the engine, and he begins to talk to Tag, one of the few generals that got off the Death Star. He used more graphs than anything else, more of a clerk than a general. He rose his way up, not through fighting, but through his own skills. He envisions a sea of Star Destroyers as they're the resources they wasted on the Death Star. Vader, defending Tark, said he had a vision. You have graphs. Although Vader didn't completely agree with the Death Star, he understood where they were going with it. He understood what power it would have, but he did have reservations. As they start rebuilding the ship, they're going to go back to the location, and he wants Vader to take them out. Also, this man in his arrogance decides to send someone with him, a lieutenant, to keep watch. Vader is not happy about this, but the Emperor has given him an order, and he will do as the Emperor asks. Although he's not happy about it, this man is a clerk. He has never really seen any combat. He says he wants to watch Vader, but he better be careful on how close he watches him, because Vader has a limited amount of patience for men like this. As Vader begins to prep everything, you see a droid there. He's going down his communicates, literally going through everything that he's done. He finds a transmission from Boba Fett, and he says it's a private matter. As he begins to board the ship, he decides to take the lieutenant with him as they head off to the base where the smugglers are. They're expecting a good haul, a good profit to be made from these weapons and systems. As they prepare to open the doors, they ask if they have the weapons. And of course, Vader, in his own dark sense of humor, answers saying, I have. As he shows up with his Star Troopers and he begins eliminating them, the fight begins as the droid begins to access different areas. Darth Vader bought the droid for a very specific reason. Basically, they go around shutting down different systems, causing trouble elsewhere where they attack. Of course, these smugglers have a trick up their sleeve. They have security, and they also have a surprise for Vader. A surprise for the stormtroopers. As Vader's droid makes his way, they bring out some of the ancient battle droids from the Clone Wars. And these droids are shielded, they have weapons, and they begin to fight the stormtroopers. As the droid makes his way around, going on top of the ship, going to the main deck area, as the stormtroopers begin to fall, and they do not want to detonate the missiles. Vader's lightsaber strike, he thinks, would set them off, but he has another plan. As he reaches out to the droid goes into the computer banks, takes over the system, and the missiles launch, not at Vader, but at the droids and the rest of the men. As he left his modulator there, in the control port, the droid goes back. Now that these men are dead, it's set to self-destruct, but Vader still has to get that information. He grabs the droid's input. This thing actually taps in. It basically saves everything to that stick. He uses it, gets the information, and leaves. And now, he goes over the findings. Of course, the lieutenant is wondering what's going on too. As Vader pats the droid, he has everything that he needs, and reports back to Tag. He says this lieutenant is dirty. He's the one that's been helping them. He's the one who's been telling them which ships to cut out, and what the Empire may miss or not miss from these ships. And now he has enough evidence against Tag, so he won't be followed again, so no one will be in his business. So no one will interfere with his plans. As Vader walks away, he says that he will be watching him more closely as well. As Vader tells the droid to leave, he ejects himself off and explodes. Says you can always trust droids. But he managed to knock down the lieutenant and the general at one fell stroke and destroyed the evidence. What will happen the next time? We'll find out, won't we? And I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.